I'm Kevin. In today's video, I'm going to take you through how I approached changing the spark plugs and the coil packs on my 2009 911. To begin with, I'm going to remove the tail lights, and these are held on with a couple 16 millimeter bolts. So you just loosen those on the side, and that's going to allow you to pull the lens out. I've loosened everything to make the video a little bit shorter. So these pull out. There's an electrical connector for each one. Okay. For the bumper skin, it's held on with T30 screws. They're across the top here, and on the bottom side here. Inside the wheel well, there's a couple of screws as well. So just take a look around. I have a towel here, a blanket, because when I take the skin of the bumper off, I don't want to just put it on the ground. That might scratch the paint. So just pull gently here. Taking the actual bumper off, it's pretty straightforward. There's just two bolts. And it just pulls out. The next component for us to remove is the heat shield. It's held on with either there's some bolts and some nuts. So just take a look. You'll see it's very easy. So the heat shield comes off as one unit. And now we can see the muffler. There's a mounting bracket here. There's two nuts on that. And then we'll go, after we remove that, we'll go to the back of the car and remove the muffler from the bracket there. Here, you might be able to see the mounting bracket. There's two nuts there. So I'm going to remove those and then carefully pull the muffler off. And the muffler is off. You can see the mounting bracket now. Another option is to take the mounting bracket, loosen it here at the catalytic converter, but those nuts are pretty bad. So another thing that I had done was this bracket here holds the muffler on as well. I had cut these. These were really shot. These bolts were quite rusty. You can imagine there's a lot of road salt gets thrown up by the rear wheels here. So anyway, I just cut those with a Dremel and I'll replace those. Okay, I've got a shot here. You can see the 3 coil packs in the engine. I've removed the heat shield on this. So the coil packs are held in. There's a bolt. So you remove that bolt and they just pull right out. You might be able to see there's some fresh paint on here. So that component was completely rusty. And it was surface rust. It wasn't, let's say, all the way through the metal. So what I did, I took my wire brush. I did remove that surface rust. And there was some flaking of it. So, it really needed to be, let's say, for me to halt that rusting. And then I used some POR paint, which is good at, let's say, arresting or stopping that rusting. When I was working on the coil packs, I had to remove the heat shields. So this is the lower heat shield on the driver's side. And as you can see, this was pretty rusty. So, I got a replacement part from Porsche. It was less than $30. And, I want to show you, how I put that back on. That's back in place now. I just want to show you some of the panels. So this is a panel, and you could see the road salt on this. So, and it's like that on both sides. So I knew I wanted to take that off to really try and remove that road salt. It's on both sides. And in doing that, the supports for the underbody panel, they were completely rusty. Now, it's not a structural component of the car. It's meant to hold up an underbody panel. But again, got my wire brush out, and then I painted that with the POR. So that's going to arrest or somewhat contain that, let's say, that rusting. The new heat shield. And you could see the behind this, the upper heat shield. That's where the spark plugs and the coil packs are. Going to the underbody, you can see there's that support that I recently painted. I did it on both sides. Hi, so I'm working on the removal of some of the underbody panels. This is the one I started with. This one had a lot of road salt on it. So as I removed the wheel well plastic liners, behind the wheel liners, there's quite a bit of caked up road salt. I don't know if you can hear this. So that's some of the road salt falling off. It's about 1/8 of an inch, a layer of road salt there. So I'm going to get that off. Here, you can see below the door sill, there's a plastic rocker panel. And I want to clean that up. I want to get behind that. But then I also want to put a layer of protection on that rocker panel. So in order to, let's say, really get at the line, which is just under the door sill, that indentation, I really want to take that off. It's just a couple T screws, and you can see I'm using a plastic body panel puller, which really helps in a safe way pull this rocker panel off. So in this video, I started off, let's say, changing the spark plugs and the coil packs, and as I finished that job up, since I had a lot of the underbody panels off, I had the mufflers off. Let's say, looking at things from a Concord perspective, I knew there were defects there. There was dirt, there was road salt. The body panels really had some salt stains on them. So I knew that stuff needed to be addressed. So today, after I finished the spark plug and coil pack work, I then took on, let's say, that other work. So I've cleaned all the body panels that I want to, took them off the car. Really, there was quite a bit of road salt actually caked onto the vehicle, onto the body of the car. The mufflers, I have a plastic scraper, and I had to use that to scrape off this baked on road salt. So anyway, I feel a lot better. I did it so that I could kind of, let's say, preserve the look of the vehicle. I feel satisfied about it. And if you do compete at, let's say, at the higher levels in Concours, underbody panels, the wheel liners, those things do get judged. But I think more importantly, I'm doing it because I want the car to look good. And so I hope you found the video helpful, and we'll see you soon. Take care now.